The derelict ship drifted in the cold expanse of space, cloaked in the shadows of the Serpent's Nebula. The stellar phalanx, an ancient human dreadnought, lay dormant for millennia, its systems in deep stasis. The once glorious vessel, now a relic of the Great Galactic War, had become a mere legend whispered among starfaring humans. Its intricate design and immense firepower were a testament to human engineering prowess, now hidden beneath layers of space dust and debris. A group of human explorers, driven by tales of ancient technology and lost treasures, stumbled upon the colossal ship during their expedition. Captain Serena Vallon, the determined and resourceful leader of the crew, stood on the bridge of their modest exploration vessel, the Argo. The ship's sensors had detected a massive metallic structure, its unique energy signature faint but unmistakable. "Can you believe it, Captain?" Lieutenant Jasper Quinn, Serena's second-in-command, whispered in awe. "We found the stellar phalanx." Serena's eyes narrowed as she studied the sensor readings. "Initiate docking procedures, Jasper. We need to get aboard and assess its condition." The Argo maneuvered carefully, aligning with one of the ancient dreadnought's docking ports. As the airlock hissed open, a sense of anticipation filled the crew. Serena led the way, her boots echoing on the cold metallic floor of the dreadnought's corridors. Dust particles floated in the zero-gravity environment, illuminated by the beams of their flashlights. "Power core is still functional but at minimal capacity," reported Dr. Ilara Cade, the mission's chief engineer, as she studied the readouts on her portable scanner. "If we can reactivate it, we might be able to bring the ship back online." "Do it," Serena ordered. "Let's wake this Titan." Ilara and her team worked tirelessly, their tools and expertise gradually reviving the ship's ancient systems. The power core, a marvel of advanced human technology, began to hum softly as it came to life. Lights flickered on, and the ship's corridors were bathed in a dim, eerie glow. Suddenly, the main control console activated, and a voice resonated through the ship's internal speakers. "Reactivation sequence initiated. Identify yourselves." Serena stepped forward, addressing the ship's AI. "This is Captain Serena Vallon of the exploration vessel Argo. We have come to reawaken the stellar phalanx and restore its legacy." The AI paused, as if processing the information. "I am Janus, the artificial intelligence of the stellar phalanx. Welcome, Captain Vallon. State your intentions." "We seek to use the ship to defend humanity and our allies against the threats that still lurk in the galaxy," Serena replied. "We need your assistance, Janus." "Understood. Initiating full systems diagnostic and reactivation procedures. Stand by." As Janus worked to restore the dreadnought's full operational capacity, Serena and her crew explored the vast ship. They uncovered ancient logs and records, learning about the ship's storied past. The stellar phalanx had once been the pride of the Terran fleet, a beacon of human strength during the Great Galactic War. It had faced formidable alien foes and survived countless battles, only to be abandoned in the aftermath of a catastrophic conflict. Serena couldn't shake the feeling that they had awakened something far greater than they had anticipated. As the dreadnought systems roared back to life, she knew their journey was just beginning. With the stellar phalanx stirring from its slumber, Serena and her team began to assess the ship's capabilities and potential. Janus, now fully operational, provided tactical insights and detailed schematics of the dreadnought's intricate systems. The crew worked tirelessly to familiarize themselves with the ship's controls and weaponry. As they navigated the vast interior, the crew stumbled upon a long-forgotten command center. Serena activated the main view screen, which flickered to life, displaying a galaxy map. Red icons indicated areas of recent conflict and distress signals. One signal in particular caught Serena's attention. "Captain, we have an incoming distress call from the Damaris colony," Jasper reported, analyzing the data. "They're under attack by the Drakari Empire." The Drakari were a ruthless alien race, known for their ferocity and advanced weaponry. They had been a persistent threat to human colonies on the fringe of Federation space. Serena knew they couldn't ignore the call for help. "Janus, can the stellar phalanx engage in combat?" Serena inquired. Affirmative, Captain. The ship's primary weapon systems are online and shields are at 80% capacity. We can engage the enemy. Serena nodded decisively. Set a course for Damaris Colony. We're going to give them a fight they won't forget. The massive engines of the stellar phalanx roared to life, propelling the ancient Dreadnought through the void. As they approached the conflict zone, the crew readied themselves for their first real test. The colony's distress signal grew stronger, and the view screen displayed a grim scene. Drakari warships bombarding the colony's defenses. All hands prepare for battle, Serena commanded. Janus, give me tactical analysis and target priorities. The AI responded promptly, highlighting key enemy ships and suggesting optimal attack patterns. The stellar phalanx surged forward, its cannons blazing. The Drakari ships, sleek and deadly, swarmed around the colony's defenses like predatory beasts. The Dreadnought's weaponry, though ancient, proved devastatingly effective. Explosions rocked the Drakari fleet as the stellar phalanx unleashed its fury. Serena's crew, though inexperienced in such large-scale battles, quickly adapted under Janus's guidance. They coordinated their attacks with precision, targeting enemy vessels' weak points and overwhelming their defenses. The tide of battle turned in favor of the humans. Drakari ships, once confident in their superiority, now scrambled to regroup. The Dreadnought's shields absorbed the brunt of the enemy's counterattacks, holding firm against the onslaught. Captain, the Drakari are retreating, Jasper reported, a note of triumph in his voice. Good, Serena replied, her eyes fixed on the view screen. Let them run. We've sent them a clear message. As the last of the Drakari ships fled into the void, the colony's grateful inhabitants sent their thanks. The crew of the stellar phalanx celebrated their victory, but Serena knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast and filled with dangers, and the reawakening of the ancient Dreadnought had not gone unnoticed. Janus, monitor all channels for any signs of further threats, Serena ordered. We need to stay vigilant. Acknowledged, Captain, Janus replied. I will keep you informed of any developments. As the stellar phalanx drifted in the calm after the storm, Serena gazed out at the stars, her mind racing with possibilities. They had taken the first step in a long journey, and the challenges ahead would test them to their limits. But with the might of the Dreadnought and the determination of her crew, Serena was ready to face whatever the galaxy threw at them. The stellar phalanx had proven its might, but the crew knew that their first battle was only a prelude to the larger conflicts that awaited them. Captain Serena Valen stood on the bridge, watching the crew bustling with renewed energy and purpose. The victory at Damaris Colony had bolstered their morale, but it had also put them on the radar of powerful enemies. As Serena reviewed the ship's systems, Janus provided a status update. Captain, all primary systems are operational. Repairs to secondary systems are ongoing. Weapons are at 90% capacity, and shields are holding at 85%. Good work, everyone, Serena said, addressing the crew. We've shown the galaxy what the stellar phalanx is capable of, but we can't afford to be complacent. We need to be ready for anything. As if on cue, the ship's sensors detected a transmission from the United Human Federation. The face of Admiral Tobias Grant, a grizzled veteran of countless battles, appeared on the main view screen. Captain Valen, I've received reports of your engagement with the Drakari, Admiral Grant began. Impressive work. However, we've intercepted intelligence indicating that the Drakari are regrouping and have requested assistance from the Vortan Collective. They're forming an alliance to counter our forces. Serena's eyes narrowed. An alliance between the Drakari and the Vortan? That's a serious threat. Indeed, Grant replied. We need every available ship to prepare for the coming storm. I'm sending you coordinates to a Federation outpost where you can resupply and make any necessary repairs. Be ready for further orders. We'll be there, Admiral, Serena affirmed. The transmission ended, and she turned to her crew. Set course for the Federation outpost. We need to get the stellar phalanx in top shape. As the Dreadnought powered through space, Serena couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The Drakari were fierce, but the Vortan Collective was known for their advanced technology and strategic cunning. An alliance between the two could spell disaster for the Federation. Upon arriving at the outpost, the stellar phalanx docked with precision. Federation engineers and technicians swarmed the ship, working alongside Serena's crew to enhance its systems and replenish its supplies. The outpost's commander, Colonel Reina Aiko, greeted Serena warmly. "Captain Valen, it's an honor to assist you," Colonel Aiko said. "We've heard about your victory at Damaris. We'll do everything we can to ensure the stellar phalanx is ready for the next battle." "Thank you, Colonel," Serena replied. "We'll need all the help we can get." As repairs progressed, Serena met with her senior officers to discuss their next moves. Dr. Ilara Cade, Lieutenant Jasper Quinn, and Chief Tactical Officer Marcus Trent pored over the latest intelligence reports. "We're looking at a full-scale invasion," Marcus said grimly. "The Drakari and Vortan fleets are amassing near the Orion belt. We'll need a solid strategy to counter them." Serena nodded. "We'll use the stellar phalanx's firepower to spearhead our assault. Janus, I need you to analyze their likely formations and suggest optimal attack vectors." "Understood, Captain," Janus replied, compiling data and generating tactical recommendations. As they prepared for the impending conflict, Serena couldn't help but feel a surge of determination. They had awakened an ancient titan, and now it was up to them to wield its power wisely. With the stellar phalanx resupplied and repaired, the crew set a course for the Orion belt, where the combined Drakari and Vortan fleets were massing. The journey gave Serena and her team time to delve deeper into the ship's history and uncover more about its capabilities. In the depths of the Dreadnought, they discovered a sealed chamber filled with relics from the Great Galactic War. Old battle standards, medals, and personal logs from the original crew lay undisturbed. As they explored, they found a holographic recording from Admiral Elias Thorpe, the original commander of the Stellar Phalanx. "To whoever finds this," the hologram began, flickering slightly, "know that this ship was built not just as a weapon, but as a symbol of humanity's resilience. We fought against impossible odds and emerged victorious. Remember that strength and carry it forward." The crew listened intently, feeling a profound connection to the ship's storied past. Inspired by the words of Admiral Thorpe, they renewed their commitment to their mission. Back on the bridge, Serena reviewed the tactical data compiled by Janus. "Janus, what's our best approach to countering the Drakari and Vortan alliance?" "The enemy fleets have positioned themselves in a defensive formation, using the gravitational fields of nearby planets to their advantage," Janus explained. "I recommend a two-pronged attack, focusing on disrupting their command ships first. This will create chaos in their ranks and give us the upper hand." Serena nodded. "Marcus, prepare the attack plans. Jasper, coordinate with the rest of the fleet. We need to strike hard and fast." As the stellar phalanx neared the Orion belt, the tension on the bridge was palpable. The view screen displayed the vast expanse of space filled with the combined might of the Drakari and Vortan fleets. The sight was daunting, but Serena's resolve remained unshaken. "All hands, battle stations," Serena ordered. "This is it. Let's show them what we're made of." The stellar phalanx surged forward, leading the charge. The enemy fleets responded, their ships maneuvering to intercept. The battle began with a deafening roar as energy beams and missiles filled the void. The Dreadnought's cannons fired in a relentless barrage, tearing through enemy formations. Serena's crew worked with precision and coordination, their training and determination shining through. The stellar phalanx's advanced targeting systems and Janus's tactical insights gave them a significant edge. As they focused on the enemy command ships, explosions erupted across the battlefield, sending shockwaves through the Drakari and Vortan ranks. "Captain, we've breached their defenses," Marcus reported, his voice filled with excitement. "Their command ships are vulnerable." "Press the attack," Serena commanded. "We need to capitalize on this opening." The Dreadnought's weapon systems intensified their assault, delivering punishing blows to the enemy command ships. The Drakari and Vortan fleets, now in disarray, struggled to mount a coordinated defense. The combined human and Federation fleet pressed the advantage, driving deeper into enemy territory. As the battle raged on, Serena's mind raced with strategies and contingencies. The echoes of the past resonated within her, reminding her of the strength and resilience of those who had come before. With the legacy of the stellar phalanx guiding them, they fought not just for victory, but for the future of humanity. The tide of battle was turning, but Serena knew the fight was far from over. The combined might of the Drukhari and Vortan empires would not be easily defeated. However, with the power of the ancient Dreadnought and the unwavering resolve of her crew, Serena was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. News of the stellar phalanx's reactivation spread quickly through the galaxy, igniting hope among humanity and their allies, but also drawing the wary attention of their enemies. The Drukhari and Vortan leaders, understanding the threat posed by the ancient Dreadnought, accelerated their efforts to forge a solid alliance. For Serena and her crew, the lull between battles was a time of preparation and strategic planning. At the Federation outpost, engineers and scientists worked tirelessly alongside the crew of the stellar phalanx to enhance its systems. The ship's already formidable weaponry and shields were being upgraded with the latest technology. As the work progressed, Serena met with Admiral Tobias Grant to discuss their strategy. Captain Valen, we've confirmed that the Drukhari and Vortan fleets are amassing near the Zelus system, Admiral Grant began, pointing to a holographic display of the galaxy. Their combined force is substantial. We'll need more than brute strength to counter them. Serena studied the display, her mind racing. We need allies. Have you reached out to the Arcturian Accord? Yes, Grant replied. They're willing to assist, but their resources are limited. We'll need to coordinate closely to maximize our effectiveness. Serena nodded. We can't afford any missteps. The stellar phalanx will lead the charge, but we'll need precise coordination with our allies. I'll work with Janice to develop a detailed battle plan. As they finalized their preparations, Serena couldn't shake a sense of foreboding. The coming battle would be unlike any they had faced before. The stakes were higher, and the enemy more formidable. She gathered her senior officers for a final briefing. Ilara, how are the upgrades progressing? Serena asked. Dr. Ilara Cade, the chief engineer, responded confidently. We're nearly finished, Captain. The stellar phalanx is now equipped with advanced shielding and upgraded weaponry. We're also integrating new targeting algorithms provided by the Federation. Excellent, Serena said. Jasper, I want you to coordinate with the Arcturian Accord and ensure our fleets are in sync. Marcus, work with Janice to finalize our tactical approach. As the crew dispersed to their tasks, Serena took a moment to reflect. The legacy of the stellar phalanx was a heavy burden, but it also inspired a sense of purpose and determination. They were not just fighting for their survival, but for the future of humanity and their allies. The stellar phalanx docked at the Federation's orbital shipyards, where engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to enhance its already formidable capabilities. Serena met with Admiral Grant, discussing strategies and potential allies. They reached out to the Arcturian Accord, a coalition of peaceful alien races, seeking their support against the Drukhari Vortan threat. As alliances formed, Serena's crew trained relentlessly, honing their skills for the battles to come. Tensions ran high, but camaraderie and determination kept them focused. Serena's efforts to secure alliances bore fruit as the Arcturian Accord, led by Chancellor Leora, pledged their support. The Arcturians, known for their advanced technology and strategic acumen, were a valuable addition to the coalition. A meeting was arranged aboard the stellar phalanx to solidify their plans. Welcome, Chancellor Leora, Serena greeted, extending her hand. Captain Valen, it's an honor, Leora replied, her voice calm and measured. The Arcturian Accord stands with you against this threat. Our fleets are at your disposal. As they discussed their strategy, Janice provided detailed analyses of the Drukhari and Vortan fleets' movements and potential weaknesses. The combined intelligence of the human and Arcturian forces painted a clearer picture of the challenges ahead. Our primary objective is to disrupt their alliance, Janice explained. If we can sow discord between the Drukhari and Vortan, we'll weaken their resolve and make them more vulnerable. Leora nodded. Agreed. The Vortan are highly logical, but the Drukhari are driven by their warrior culture. We can exploit these differences to our advantage. With the plan in place, the fleet set course for the Zelus system, where the enemy armada was gathering. The journey was tense, with every crew member acutely aware of the impending confrontation. Training drills and strategy sessions filled the hours as they prepared for the inevitable clash. As they neared the Zelus system, sensors picked up the massive enemy fleet. The Drakari ships, with their jagged, predatory designs, contrasted sharply with the sleek, efficient lines of the Vortan vessels. The combined force was a daunting sight, but Serena's resolve remained unshaken. "All hands battle stations," Serena commanded, her voice steady. "This is it. Let's show them what the stellar phalanx can do." The Dreadnought surged forward, leading the charge. The Allied fleet followed in a coordinated assault, targeting key enemy positions. The battle began with a deafening roar as energy beams and missiles filled the void. The stellar phalanx's advanced weaponry proved devastatingly effective, cutting through the enemy ranks with precision. Serena's crew, now seasoned by their previous engagements, executed their maneuvers flawlessly. The Arcturian ships provided crucial support, their advanced technology complementing the human forces. As the battle raged, the differences between the Drakari and Vortan became apparent. The Drakari fought with ferocious tenacity, while the Vortan maintained a disciplined, calculated approach. Serena and Leora seized this opportunity, coordinating their attacks to exploit the weaknesses in the enemy's coordination. "Captain, we've broken through their front lines," Jasper reported, his voice filled with excitement. "Press the attack," Serena commanded. "We need to capitalize on this momentum." The Allied fleet intensified their assault, driving deeper into enemy territory. The Drakari and Vortan forces, now struggling to maintain their cohesion, began to falter. Explosions erupted across the battlefield as ship after ship fell to the relentless onslaught. Despite their successes, the battle was far from over. The combined might of the Drakari and Vortan empires was formidable, and the stellar phalanx and its allies had to remain vigilant. As the conflict reached its peak, Serena knew that their resolve and unity would be the key to victory. With the power of the ancient Dreadnought and the unwavering determination of her crew and allies, Serena was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The battle for the future of humanity and their allies had begun in earnest, and they would not back down. The Drakari and Vortan fleets massed at the edge of Federation space, their combined might a daunting sight. The stellar phalanx, now bristling with upgraded weaponry and reinforced shields, led a fleet of human and Arcturian ships to meet them. The battle was fierce, with both sides unleashing devastating volleys of energy and projectiles. Serena's tactical acumen, combined with Janus's vast knowledge, proved crucial. The Dreadnought carved a path through the enemy lines, but the battle was far from over. As the fleets converged, the void of space became a maelstrom of energy blasts and exploding starships. The stellar phalanx, its ancient design now complemented by cutting-edge upgrades, moved with a deadly grace, its cannons firing with pinpoint accuracy. The bridge of the Dreadnought was a hive of activity, with Serena and her officers directing the battle with precision. "Target the lead Drakari cruiser," Serena ordered, her voice calm amidst the chaos. "Janus, focus our fire on their weak points." "Affirmative, Captain," Janus replied. The AI's calculated targeting algorithms guided the ship's weaponry, striking with surgical precision. The Drakari cruiser buckled under the onslaught, its shields collapsing in a cascade of energy. Moments later, it erupted in a fiery explosion, scattering debris across the battlefield. The victory was short-lived, however, as a swarm of Vortan fighters descended upon the stellar phalanx, their nimble craft darting through the Dreadnought's defenses. "Deploy countermeasures," Serena commanded. "Keep those fighters off us." The Dreadnought's hull shimmered as anti-fighter turrets sprang to life, tracking and destroying the Vortan attackers. The coordinated defense, a blend of human and Arcturian technology, proved effective, but the sheer number of enemy fighters was overwhelming. "Captain, we have enemy reinforcements inbound," Marcus reported, his tone urgent. "We need to regroup." Serena nodded. "All ships, fall back to defensive positions. We'll lure them into a trap." The Allied fleet executed a strategic withdrawal, drawing the enemy forces into a narrow corridor of space between two asteroid fields. As the Drakari and Vortan ships pursued, the Allies sprang their trap. Hidden turrets and mines placed by the Arcturian engineers activated, catching the enemy off guard. The resulting explosions and crossfire decimated the pursuing fleet, turning the tide of battle. The stellar phalanx and its allies pressed the advantage, launching a coordinated counterattack. The enemy, now disorganized and reeling from the ambush, struggled to regroup. "Captain, their command ship is vulnerable," Janus reported. "I recommend a direct assault." Serena's eyes narrowed. "All hands, prepare for a boarding action. We're going after their leader." The stellar phalanx powered forward, its shields absorbing the remaining enemy fire. As they closed in on the enemy command ship, Serena led a team of elite Marines to the docking bay. Equipped with advanced exosuits and weaponry, the boarding party launched themselves across the void, breaching the enemy vessel's hull. Inside the command ship, fierce close-quarters combat ensued. The Drakari warriors, known for their brutal melee skills, met the human Marines head-on. Serena, her exosuit enhancing her strength and reflexes, fought with relentless determination. The corridors of the enemy ship echoed with the sounds of battle. As they pushed towards the command center, the team encountered heavy resistance. Serena's tactical prowess and the Marines' training proved decisive, and they fought their way through, securing their objectives one by one. Finally, they reached the command center. The Drakari warlord, a towering figure clad in ornate battle armor, awaited them. The ensuing duel was intense, but Serena's skill and the support of her team prevailed. With the warlord defeated, the enemy command structure crumbled. "Command ship secured," Serena reported, her voice steady. "The battle is ours." The remaining Drakari and Vortan ships, now leaderless and demoralized, began to retreat. The Allied fleet pressed their advantage, securing the battlefield and ensuring a decisive victory. As the battle raged on, the stellar phalanx took heavy damage. Serena ordered a daring maneuver, plunging the Dreadnought into the heart of the enemy fleet. The Drakari and Vortan ships scrambled to intercept, but the ancient human vessel's firepower was unmatched. Explosions lit up the void as ship after ship fell to the Dreadnought's wrath. However, a Vortan warlord commanding a massive battleship challenged Serena directly. In a desperate struggle, the stellar phalanx emerged victorious, but at great cost. The battlefield was a chaotic swirl of fire and debris as the stellar phalanx cut a path through the enemy fleet. Serena's maneuver had brought them dangerously close to the heart of the Drakari and Vortan forces, but it also provided a strategic advantage. The Dreadnought's weapons fired in all directions, repelling attackers and destroying any ship that dared to come within range. "Captain, our shields are failing in sectors 4 and 7, Ilara reported, her hands flying over the control panel. "We can't sustain this level of damage for much longer." "Understood," Serena replied. "Janus, give me a status report." "We have significant damage to our port side and several weapon systems are offline," Janus informed. "However, our core systems remain operational. We can continue the assault, but at reduced capacity." Serena weighed her options quickly. "All hands, brace for impact. We're going in deeper." The stellar phalanx surged forward, its engines straining against the gravitational pull of a nearby gas giant. The enemy fleet, momentarily disoriented by the Dreadnought's unexpected advance, struggled to regroup. Taking advantage of the confusion, Serena ordered a concentrated barrage on the largest enemy battleship. "Focus all fire on that ship," Serena commanded. "We take it down, and their morale will crumble." The Dreadnought's remaining weapons unleashed a torrent of energy, striking the Vortan battleship with devastating force. The enemy vessel's shields flickered and failed, and the subsequent explosions rocked the entire ship. The Vortan warlord, realizing the threat, directed all available firepower at the stellar phalanx. The bridge of the Dreadnought shuddered violently under the barrage. Consoles sparked, and alarms blared as systems failed one by one. Despite the chaos, Serena remained resolute. "Maintain fire," she shouted. "We're almost through." The combined firepower of the stellar phalanx and the Allied fleet finally overwhelmed the enemy battleship's defenses. With a final, massive explosion, the Vortan vessel disintegrated, sending shockwaves through the enemy ranks. The destruction of their flagship sent the Drakari and Vortan forces into disarray. With their command structure in shambles and their morale shattered, the remaining enemy ships began a hasty retreat. The Allied fleet, though battered, pressed their advantage, driving the enemy forces out of Federation space. As the dust settled, the crew of the stellar phalanx began assessing the damage. The ship had taken a severe beating, and many systems were offline. Medical teams tended to the wounded, and engineers worked tirelessly to stabilize critical functions. "Captain, we've won," Jasper said, his voice filled with a mix of relief and exhaustion. "The enemy is retreating." Serena nodded, her expression grim. "But at a great cost. Get me a full damage report. We need to know what we're dealing with." As the crew worked to restore the ship, Serena took a moment to reflect on the battle. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, but the fight had taken a heavy toll. The stellar phalanx had proven its worth once again, but the cost of war weighed heavily on her mind. "Janus, start compiling all battle data," Serena ordered. "We need to learn from this and be better prepared for the next encounter." "Understood, Captain," Janus replied, compiling data and preparing analysis. With the enemy forces in retreat and the battlefield secured, Serena knew they had won a significant victory. But she also knew that the war was far from over. The Drakari and Vortan would regroup, and new threats would emerge. The crew of the stellar phalanx had proven their resilience, and Serena was determined to lead them through whatever challenges lay ahead. As the Dreadnought limped back to friendly territory, the crew began the arduous task of repairing their ship and preparing for the battles to come. Serena's resolve remained unshaken, her determination to protect humanity and their allies stronger than ever. With their fleets decimated, the Drakari and Vortan leaders retreated to their home systems, consolidating their forces for a final stand. Serena, despite the losses, pressed the advantage. The combined human and Arcturian fleet pursued, determined to end the threat once and for all. The climactic battle unfolded in the skies above the Drakari homeworld. The stellar phalanx, leading the charge, faced off against the remnants of the alien armada. The fate of humanity and its allies hung in the balance. The journey to the Drakari homeworld was fraught with tension. The Allied fleet, though victorious in previous engagements, was battered and weary. The stellar phalanx, still undergoing repairs, led the charge, its presence a beacon of hope and defiance. Serena stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the viewscreen displaying the Drakari planet. "All ships form up," Serena ordered, her voice steady. "This is it. We end this war here and now." The fleet approached the planet, and the enemy forces were waiting. The Drakari and Vortan ships, though fewer in number, were positioned in a formidable defensive formation. The skies above the Drakari homeworld bristled with orbital defense platforms and minefields, creating a deadly gauntlet for the approaching fleet. "Janus, analyze their defenses and provide a tactical assessment," Serena commanded. "Analyzing, Captain," Janus replied. "Enemy defenses are concentrated around key orbital platforms. Recommend a multi-pronged assault to divide their forces and create openings for our main attack." Serena nodded. "Marcus, relay the plan to the fleet. We need to hit them hard and fast." The fleet split into several strike groups, each targeting different sectors of the enemy defenses. The stellar phalanx led the central assault, its cannons blazing as they punched through the outer defenses. The battle erupted with a ferocity unmatched by previous encounters, the void of space filled with energy beams, missiles, and explosions. "Captain, we're taking heavy fire," Ilara reported, her voice strained. "Shields at 60% and dropping." "Hold the line," Serena replied, her eyes never leaving the viewscreen. "Focus fire on those orbital platforms. We need to clear a path." The Allied fleet pressed forward, their coordinated assault breaking through the enemy defenses. The stellar phalanx took point, its upgraded weaponry tearing through Drakari and Vortan ships with relentless precision. Despite the enemy's fierce resistance, the tide of battle began to turn in favor of the Allies. "Janus, target their command ship," Serena ordered. "We take out their leadership, and their forces will crumble." "Targeting now, Captain," Janus replied. The stellar phalanx unleashed a devastating barrage on the enemy command ship, its shields flickering and failing under the sustained assault. The Drakari warlord, realizing the impending defeat, ordered a desperate counterattack. Enemy ships swarmed the stellar phalanx, their combined firepower overwhelming the Dreadnought's defenses. "Captain, our shields are failing," Marcus warned. "We can't take much more of this." "All hands, prepare for emergency maneuvers," Serena commanded. "Janus, reroute all available power to forward shields and weapons." The Dreadnought surged forward, its cannons blazing in a final desperate assault. The enemy command ship buckled under the onslaught, explosions rippling across its hull. With a final massive detonation, the Drakari flagship was destroyed, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The remaining enemy forces, now leaderless and demoralized, began to retreat. The Allied fleet, though battered and bloodied, pressed their advantage, securing the battlefield and ensuring the final defeat of the Drakari and Vortan alliance. As the dust settled, the crew of the stellar phalanx began assessing the damage. The ship had taken severe hits, and many systems were offline. Medical teams tended to the wounded, and engineers worked tirelessly to stabilize critical functions. "We did it," Jasper said, his voice filled with a mix of relief and exhaustion. "The war is over." Serena nodded, her expression a blend of triumph and sorrow. "Yes, but at a great cost. Let's honor those who fought and fell by rebuilding and ensuring this never happens again." In the final, desperate moments of the battle, Serena and her crew pushed the stellar phalanx beyond its limits. Janus, fully integrated with the ship's systems, coordinated a devastating final assault. The Drakari and Vortan fleets crumbled under the onslaught, their leaders captured or killed. Victory was at hand, but the Dreadnought had suffered grievous damage. As the dust settled, Serena reflected on the sacrifices made and the resilience of humanity. The stellar phalanx, a relic of the past, had once again become a beacon of hope for the future. The battlefield was silent as the remnants of the Allied fleet regrouped. The destruction of the Drakari and Vortan command ships had broken the back of the enemy forces, and the few remaining ships surrendered or fled. The victory was complete, but it had come at a high price. "Captain, we have multiple hull breaches and critical system failures," Ilara reported, her voice weary. "We need immediate repairs to avoid a total systems collapse." Serena nodded. "Begin emergency protocols. Prioritize life support and medical facilities. We need to stabilize the ship before we can think about anything else." As the crew worked to repair the damaged ship, Serena took a moment to address the fleet. Her image appeared on view screens across the Allied ships, her voice carrying the weight of their hard-won victory. "To all forces, we have achieved a great victory today," Serena began. "The threat posed by the Drakari and Vortan alliance has been neutralized, and the galaxy is safer because of your courage and sacrifice. Let us honor the fallen by rebuilding and ensuring a lasting peace." Cheers erupted from the fleet, a cathartic release of the tension and fear that had gripped them for so long. Serena's message resonated with every soldier and officer, a reminder of what they had fought for and what they had achieved. As the crew of the stellar phalanx continued their repairs, Serena and Janus reviewed the battle data. The AI's analysis highlighted the key moments and decisions that had led to their victory, as well as the critical points where they had been most vulnerable. "We must learn from this," Serena said, her tone resolute. "The stellar phalanx has proven its worth, but we can't afford to become complacent. The galaxy is vast, and new threats will emerge." "Agreed, Captain," Janus replied. "I will integrate the battle data into our training simulations to better prepare for future engagements." As the repairs progressed, Serena took the time to visit the injured and honor the fallen. The medical bays were filled with wounded soldiers, their injuries a testament to the ferocity of the battle. Serena offered words of encouragement and gratitude, her presence a source of strength for her crew. "We wouldn't have made it without you, Captain," one of the injured Marines said, his voice weak but filled with conviction. "You gave us hope when we needed it most." Serena smiled, her heart heavy with the weight of command. "We did this together. Every one of you played a vital role in our victory. Rest now and heal. We have a lot of work ahead of us." As the stellar phalanx limped back to Federation space, the crew began to rebuild and reflect on their journey. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, their resilience and determination shining through. The Dreadnought, a relic of a bygone era, had once again become a symbol of hope and strength. The victory against the Drakari and Vorton alliance marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Serena and her crew knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but they were ready to face whatever came their way. United in their resolve and strengthened by their triumph, they looked to the future with hope and determination. The stellar phalanx, its hull scarred but its spirit unbroken, sailed through the stars, a testament to the enduring strength of humanity and its allies. The galaxy watched, knowing that as long as the Dreadnought stood, there was hope for a brighter future